Coming in number 10, we have Lea Michele. Back in December, Lea Michele started to go trending on Twitter after the internet started to troll her for her new chiseled facial appearance. When the funny girl actress posted a selfie comparing herself to Lucia, the beautiful working girl on The White Lotus, the internet was then quick to notice her resemblance to another trending character, which is a girl who has undergone buccal fat removal. The cosmetic procedure involves surgically removing fat between the cheekbones and the jawbones via incisions inside the mouth to highlight one's facial bone structure. While people have been doing the surgery for decades, it's currently all the rage with young celebrities and people on TikTok. It takes a normal looking girl and makes them look almost skeletal, which is pretty damaging to a younger person's image. While the surgery isn't everybody's cup of tea, I still don't understand why Hollywood girlies aren't trying to get rid of it and why they keep opting to do it, and it kinda made Lea Michele look more scary than her Rachel Berry days on Glee.
So I agree, buccal fat removal has been a trend, but one thing that's not being mentioned is most people do cheek augmentation when they do buccal fat removal, and that makes the drastic change. If you don't augment the cheeks and you do a conservative buccal fat removal, you have a very balanced appearance. So it is a trend, but I would say that the extreme version is not a trend. It's just the extreme version that we talk about.
Number 9, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian has been pretty open about her physical transformation, and unlike her other sisters, she claimed that she has undergone plastic surgery more than once in her life. While the reality TV star isn't too outspoken when it comes to her past procedures, she has opened up once before about the reason behind her choice to undergo the knife. In a reunion episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe revealed that she opted for a few cosmetic alterations by saying, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she had a third face transplant, but I've had one nose job." Aside from her nose job, the Good American founder has also revealed she has done injections, but not really Botox because she responded horribly Botox. Khloe, like Kylie, has also gotten so much filler done at one point. She even went back 3 times to get it dissolved, but it still feels like the effects are still there. But for a while, the star did look a little scary with all that filler.
So Khloe has definitely had rhinoplasty or nose surgery, as she's admitted to, and I do think that's a primary surgery that she has. She's had a significant amount of weight fluctuation, not only with fillers that make her appear heavier, but her actual weight has fluctuated 30-40 pounds, and that makes a big difference in your facial appearance. She also likes to highlight and put on heavy makeup, which makes you look a lot different because the makeup artists in Hollywood are fantastic at changing someone's look.
Coming in number 8, we have Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley was a legendary beauty, but when she underwent plastic surgery in the past, it left her with some unfortunate side effects. It would force her to come out and claim that she unknowingly had industrial low-grade silicone injected into her face by a doctor who wasn't even licensed to practice medicine in the United States. Priscilla was one of many victims who fell into the hands of Dr. Daniel Serranoez. In 2008, a rep of the actress would share that an investigation which uncovered his misconduct ultimately led to his imprisonment. Miss Presley dealt with this matter years ago, and eventually everything is now well. Serrano, who was not licensed to practice medicine, would find himself being deported back to Argentina after serving 18 months in federal prison, after some of his injections caused lumps, paralysis, and holes in his client's face. But the work he did to Priscilla definitely had her wishing that she never underwent the surgery, and she never even tried to have it repaired as she was kind of scared it would do more harm than good.
Priscilla Presley is one of the saddest cases in plastic surgery. Even when we use medical grade silicone, we used to have problems with rejection, and we'd have to extract it. People would have skin breakouts. She basically had high-grade motor oil put in her face, and it's without a doubt one of the saddest cases ever. She handled it the best she could. Unfortunately, people like her are under so much pressure, so much scrutiny. Sometimes they do things with a friend in a garage, which is exactly what happened to Priscilla.
Number 7, Janice Dickinson. It's clear that Hollywood's obsession with plastic surgery is starting to get really scary. And if you look what happened to Janice Dickinson after she made an attempt to keep her youthful appearance, people would even start to confuse her with Caitlyn Jenner. After she had a botched procedure done, even according to celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Anthony Yoon, Janice had every plastic surgery procedure there is. And that's not really hard to believe, as once the stunning model now looks like she is pure plastic. And I've seen her undergo some treatments on reality TV. Dr. Yoon would then jokingly add, I believe she's undergone pretty much every facial plastic surgery there is, including a facelift, eye lift, lip injections, Botox, fat injections, a brow lift, and she's probably single-handedly paid for her plastic surgeon's house. Despite Janice going under the knife numerous times, Yoon said while Janice doesn't look a whole lot like herself, she's holding up pretty well and she's had quite a bit of help. In 2014, Janice would even admit when she was 32, or in the Jurassic era, that's when she had her first procedure done, and it included work to her chest, a tummy tuck, facelift, and Botox.
Janice Dickinson's been one of the all-time beauties, and unfortunately she succumbed to the pressures of Hollywood. And once you get on that roller coaster and you go over that peak descent, it's very hard to get back on track. She's done a good job in recovering from all her plastic surgery, but she's the first one to admit she way overdid it. She did not look natural. She did too many things at one time. A lot of people in Hollywood have trouble taking off and lying low while they're healing, so they do 6 or 7 things at one time when most people should do 2 or 3 things at one time. They do too much surgery at one time, and that's what she was a victim of.
At number 6, we have Linda Evangelista. The OG supermodel hasn't been seen in public for a while now, and in September 23rd, 2021, she would explain why. Linda revealed that she underwent cool sculpting, which she claims left her looking unrecognizable, as it allegedly caused her fat cells in her face to multiply. And she would say, to my followers who have wondered why I have not been working while my peers' careers have been thriving, the reason is that I was brutally disfigured by a procedure which did the opposite of what it promised. She then went on to talk about the procedure's rare but serious side effects, and she said, not only did it destroy my livelihood, but it sent me into a cycle of depression, profound sadness, and lowest depths of self-loathing. In the process, I have become reclusive, and I'm so tired of living this way. I would like to walk out my door with my head held high despite not looking like myself any longer. However, if you look at photos from Linda from 2005 to now, before her procedure disfigured her famous face, the girl was stunning. And if you were looking to get plastic surgery done in the future, let this be a warning and just a reminder that you're beautiful just the way you look.
Linda is absolutely stunning, has beautiful eyes, still does. Fortunately, she's kept those. The main problem that she has had is she had the wrong type of surgery. She had deep changes in her neck that involved her glands and her deep muscular neck that was never addressed. And so when she had superficial surgery, it just made it more exposed, and she blamed that on cool sculpting, which could have been a factor, but she had the wrong type of surgery. So it's not only important who you go to, but make sure they have enough experience that it's not the old hammer and a nail and they only have one procedure to offer you.
Number 5, Mickey Rourke. Since the beginning of his career, Mickey Rourke has captured the news headlines every now and then, and one of the most talked about things about him is his face. Today, everyone knows Mickey to be an actor of repute who has starred in many successful movies over the years, but it is essential to understand that acting was not Mickey's first love, as he's a man who was in love with boxing, and he eventually became a professional boxer. And he did pretty well because he was unbeaten in all his fights, as he won and drew others. However, he endured a lot of injuries to his face, and some of these injuries were so severe that they threatened to ruin his good looks, so he opted to have cosmetic surgery to fix his face. However, the doctors he met to help him fix his face just ended up ruining it. His face today is now very different from what his fans had known it to be, and anytime time he steps into the public, paparazzi just swarms his face. While the star has undergone different cosmetic surgeries to correct his face, it just keeps changing and it keeps renewing the public's interest.
Mickey has had a career in the public eye. He definitely has had several surgical procedures, as he admits to. And boxing is not friendly on the face, just like media reporters are not friendly on the face. But I would say that considering all the work he's done and what he's been through, he still has riz.
Number 4. Joan Rivers. Comedian Joan Rivers was famous for constantly changing her face. When the reality TV star passed away at the age of 81, her daughter Melissa would write a memoir, The Book of Joan, tales of mirth, mischief, and manipulation. As a tribute to her mother, in it Melissa would reveal that Joan had a staggering 348 cosmetic operations over her life, and she was never happy with the way she looked, which fed into her sense of being less than. Joan Rivers' tragic passing was caused after she had complications following her surgery, after the comedian never recovered from a loss of oxygen to her brain during surgery. Her daughter would then be able to sue the clinic for malpractice. It would be noted that Joan went into the hospital after she scheduled an EGD. However, reports then showed another procedure, a nasolaryngoscopy, which was performed twice by an ENT doctor not privileged to perform that procedure at Yorkville, and Rivers was never informed or consented to that procedure.
Joan Rivers is one of the most colorful personalities and true examples of too much plastic surgery at her own admission. She has records that are hard to even imagine, similar to Will Chamberlain, and although she has had so many surgeries, she actually looked pretty reasonable for the amount of surgery she had, but she was addicted and took it too far, and then when people start to turn people down for surgery, they keep going and going and going. They finally find somebody that will do it, and sometimes in an unsafe environment like she had done.
Number 3. Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace's designs for Versace may have sparked thousands of copycats, but there is no danger of a woman following suit when it comes to Donatella Versace's new look. 30 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and smooth skin, but today her face is striking for all the wrong reasons, as she has now turned herself into a real-life human waxwork doll after she overdid Botox and added too much filler to her cheeks and lips. Not to mention, the businesswoman has also had a facelift and eyes and brow lift. And if you look at her face, you can tell that her eyelids are like a little droopy because she had some bad Botox, and that's why they look droopy. It's also been said that she looks like she may have had some filler added to her earlobes, as they looked very stretched. Dr. David Rappaport has also provided a timeline of Donatella's alleged procedures, where he would point out that it seems clear that the designer has had a facelift, as she has a scar that you can see on her temple areas, and she has a fine linear scar from it. He would also note that her hairline has been lifted too high, and it shouldn't end that high above her ears, but this could also indicate that she's gone under the knife for more than one procedure.
So Miss Versace is somebody that's had a good bit of work done. But what's interesting is the comment about Botox causing her lids to be droopy and stay that way is not accurate. What happens is people have a blepharoplasty, and people that don't have a lot of experience will loosen a muscle called the levator aponeurosis, and it causes the lid to be ptotic. Ptotic means droopy. And so unless you go to somebody that specializes in that, then that's not going to be repaired, and then you're always going to have those sleepy, sometimes people call them bedroom eyes. If it's on Marilyn Monroe, everybody says it looks great. If it's on Versace, they say it looks horrible. So you pick your poison, but scars are something that can be avoided. Back in the day, you had to have scars to have a facelift. Most people do today, but there are techniques like the inside out facelift where you don't need to have visible scars.
Number 2. Carrot Top. Comedian king of props Scott Carrot Top Thompson has had to deal with a lot of plastic surgery rumors and before and after surgery photos, but despite the hundreds of sources saying he underwent the knife to change his looks, the comedian says he hasn't had work done on him, but it's clearly just a lie. So Carrot Top is one of these most successful comedians from the late 90s and 2000s. Aside from comedy, one of the most talked about topics whenever Carrot Top is brought up is about his looks, and people start to debate speculate whether the star has had plastic surgery done or not. Although various sources have tried exploring his transformation to put an answer to the question, the comedian still continues to deny all the rumors that revolve around him undergoing the knife to change his looks. And to this day, the comedian still has to deal with plastic surgery rumors, as the media has been swamped with before and after photos of the star. Many have even compared his transformation to plastic surgery disasters, and some professionals have even commented on it, such as Dr. Anthony Yoon, who pointed out that the comedian has definitely had laser treatments or chemical peels, and he even commented on Carrot Top's appearance by saying he looks more like a muscle-bound cartoon character.
Carrot Top has been the discussion of many, a lot because he's a very interesting character. He's flamboyant, he's colorful, his hair, but when you look at him closely and you look at it through the years, his main changes have been hormonal. He has been into anti-aging, steroids and things like that, where he's lifted a lot of weights, he's put on a lot of muscle, and then he lost it, and then he did it again. All of those changes affect your face, and they affect the texture of your skin. He does look like he's had an improvement of his skin with either laser or chemical peels, and he's also had some refinement in his nose in the later years. But that's really about it. Most of the other changes are lifestyle and hormonal.
Number 1. Lil Kim. Lil Kim is undoubtedly one of the brightest, most influential women in hip-hop, yet her legacy remains controversial for one reason or the other. It seems like the star is constantly being thrown in front of the media since the beginning of her career for her ever-changing face. In 2005, Kim would even go on a radio show to explain that she had broken her nose after getting into an altercation with her ex-boyfriend, and she had to get surgery done to fix her nose, and then she would go back to her boyfriend, get hurt again, and it would reel her into a tangle of insecurities and self-loathing. Kim was so tired of lying about her injuries and burying her bruises in makeup that she thought it would be better to get professional work done and wipe those physical markings away once and for all. And then after, she would get more surgeries done by her own choice, as she was facing insecurities after her boyfriends kept cheating on her with European women with long hair.
So Lil Kim is a fashionista, I would say. She's always been into an interesting look, on the cutting edge, and yes, she's had surgery and she's admitted to it. She does have some insecurities that she's also admitted to. So I think the thing to keep in mind is she's done a lot of things to make her feel better about herself. And also, when you're in the entertainment business and you're changing your look and changing how you want to appear to everybody, it's no different than most people getting a car or getting a new suit or painting their house. They're all trying to further their career and also to fulfill their own insecurities. So I say, go girl, you're doing great. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure and subscribe.